Hello and welcome to my 5 tips for KIRIKO players. This guide is aimed at beginners, people who are looking to pick up the hero and have no idea what she's all about, how she's good, and where to use her. So these are 5 pretty fundamental tips for the hero, so let's jump into it. So KIRIKO is a healer, and there are some properties about her heal that you should be aware of. Her heal auto reloads, so if I go to heal these bots here, you can see that it just continues to reload. So if you just want to focus on healing, you can just do it like this, just aim at your allies. The healing range is 35 meters, so it's actually pretty far away. You can see here it's quite far. Note that if I aim at an ally and I go behind the cover, the heal turns blue. It actually fails to heal and will not travel around or through obstacles in the way, so you do need line of sight. So this is very important. You can switch targets mid-heal, as you can see here, and there is travel time. So the closer you are to the ally, the faster they'll receive the heal. And you can always precast this, like let's say an ally is about to push into a group of enemies, you can hit them with a heal from kind of far away, and then by the time they start engaging in combat, they'll get healed. Now obviously if they're under fire, like you'll have to continue to heal them, but just note that you do need line of sight, there is travel time, the heal auto reloads, and you can switch targets mid-heal. Now if an ally runs into, like if you just use the heal and an ally just happens to run into it, they will get healed. But you shouldn't count for that, right? Like you should actually aim your heals. You shouldn't just like hope that they randomly get healed, but it's pretty forgiving. Like you can see here, you can be like a little off target. As long as they're like highlighted and you have line of sight, you're good. Another very important aspect to KIRIKO, and this is one of the main reasons why you'd play her, is her mobility. So if you just run up to any wall, you can just hold the jump button or key, depending on what you're playing on, to just climb. So similar to Genji and Hanzo, she's a ninja, so she can climb shit. Very useful to climb onto high ground. So note to climb stuff like this, you can always climb and move. So like if you want to climb straight up, then move over to the side, you can climb on top of things. And then if you want to clear something like this, you want to kind of go like that. So in order to climb up this building to get to the second part, you have to make sure you clear this obstacle. So you want to climb like there. You want to kind of move off it a little bit as you start to climb. Alternatively, you could probably just do something like this. So climbing is extremely useful. Getting on to high ground can be good depending on what enemy heroes are being run. If they're running like a Widowmaker or something, it can be dangerous to be on high ground because then the Widowmaker just can see you. But if they're running heroes that aren't really good at climbing themselves or kind of rooted to the ground, you can kind of take advantage of being high up and healing, kind of keeping yourself safe, and then if you want to, you can start to help deal damage. Okay, so this next tip, this is the 3rd tip, this is about your teleport. So note that when you are close to an ally, the L, like it says L shift, this disappears. You cannot teleport to an ally if you're within around 6 meters to them. So this is 5 meters. So you can see here, it's like kind of 5, like somewhere between 5 and 6 meters. But you cannot teleport. The teleport cleanses you. It makes you invincible for like, right now I think it's 0.4 seconds, and they're nerfing it to 0.25, I believe, in the November 15th patch. But it's still enough time that if an enemy were to shoot you with something and you teleport, you'll cleanse and become invincible for like fractions of a second. So if you time it correctly, even if an ally is pretty close, like you can just be healing a dude, they go to hit you, you just teleport. That can be enough to dodge a shot and to tank. So it's very useful to do this. Also note you can teleport through things to allies. So like let's say an ally is under heavy fire and like they're on high ground or something, low health, and if they peek they're gonna die, you can teleport to them really quickly and then heal them. Very useful. You can also teleport to escape. So let's say you are under fire, you're getting killed, you can teleport away. So those are some uses of teleport. Very useful to reposition, to help an ally to escape. It's pretty good. Okay, so let's talk about another one of the main reasons you might want to use this character. So she is a ninja, or in other words, a kind of healer assassin. And her weapon is no joke. If you can land kunai headshots, they do 120 damage each. The body shots do 40. So I'll show the difference. So that's body shots, and here's headshots. You can win 1v1s with damage in flank heroes. Like with like tracers and, you know, Junkrats, whatever. It is hard to do, but you have to land 2 clean headshots. Like, I've killed Genjis that have ulted that were trying to kill me. I just like hit them with 2 headshots and just drop them. Like, you can do it. And there's also other tools that you have access to aside from the invincibility cleanse from the teleport. And I'm gonna go into that as the 5th point, but for the 4th, your headshot damage is insane. And this hero is definitely a high skill ceiling hero that demands a lot of you. Like, positionally, you have to be aware of where your allies are. You have to know when to heal versus when to attack. You have to climb, grab high ground situationally. You have to know where allies are to teleport to them. So if you're in danger, you can use teleport to tank damage. And then finally, for the 5th point, Protection Suzu. What it does is it gives you or any allies caught within its explosion invincibility for 1 second. It also cleanses. It also heals for a little bit, as you can see there. So it's a really good dueling tool. So like, let's say you have Protection Suzu, and it's not on cooldown, and then like an enemy damage character jumps you. You can drop it to heal yourself for a little bit, cleanse yourself. It also knocks enemies back slightly, so it can kind of mess up their aim if they're like right on top of you. But it could also push them away from you to give you some space. But it does all of these things, and 1 second of invincibility is enough time to win a 1v1. Like, that's totally enough time to win a 1v1 with 2 clean headshots. And because you're invincible, you know that you can take your time, and by your time I mean 1 second, to try to line these shots up and to kind of like get your bearings. But you can also use it in a pinch to heal allies that are about to die by giving them 1 second of invincibility to 1, prevent death, 2, cleanse them, 3, heal them for a little bit, and then 4, allow you to heal them on top of that. Because when they're invincible, they cease taking damage. So it's a very good spike healing tool and like death prevention tool for yourself, for allies, and it's just one of your best abilities, to be honest. It's insane. It's so good. Having on a 14-second cooldown, being able to just give things invincibility for 1 second in a game where things die really fast is insane. So that's pretty much it for the basic tips. I can end with a 6th one. So when you use your ult, it creates a path. Allies have reduced cooldowns on this path and attack faster. You also attack faster. You can win 1v1s and push in the enemy team. So as long as you're on the path. So try to cast it and then like in a line so that, you know, you can attack enemies and heal allies. This is kind of like an example of like something you might do. So like if allies are full, I guess this will be the 7th one. We're adding all these bonus ones in. If your allies are at full health, you should be throwing kunai, in my opinion. And could be going for headshots on damage enemies that are just like on high ground and stuff. If there's like an Ashe or a Widowmaker on high ground, like you can just do this and go for the kill. You can even shadow step and go for the kill. So pretty useful stuff. Pretty good hero, pretty fun. Definitely harder to play than something like Moira. Moira will rack up damage effortlessly. This character really demands a lot from you for like the aiming. It can be hard to hit enemies at range too, like that are moving, because you have to predict where their head's gonna be. And the further the distance, the harder it is to do that. So definitely a more demanding healer, and it can be harder to defend yourself because it's so skill-based. But yeah, definitely very fun. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed this or found this useful. Also drop a comment, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one.